TRIM stands for Triad's Rapid Implementation Methodology. In this video, we present the I factor in TRIM. I for innovation. There is a caveat that we are dealing with out here. Disruption, innovation. These two terms have been the most overused terms in posts these days. So much so that we dismiss it as soon as we see it. But this video is made as a very honest attempt to be different. So the I for innovation makes sense to you and me. How can you innovate the way you do business? ERP solutions, by their very nature, encourage you to rethink about established practices. So it's important we don't just automate the current processes without asking why or why not. If we identify white spaces that could bring in agility to the way value is delivered to your customers, you could actually challenge the big players who may be dominating the markets. TRIM is an attempt to empower FMCG distributors in the Middle East markets to pursue disruptive innovation and to pursue their growth with agility. For example, services and spare parts are the most profitable lines of revenue for an equipment distribution entity. In one such conversation, the need to print manual job cards was replaced with mobile-led solutions and a customer portal for service requests, fully integrated with an asset list at the customer site and an online order management system for spare parts. So technology-led innovation can facilitate such changes and bring in disruptive models for doing business in a very cash-tight and competitive landscape. With TRIM, we are declaring business scenarios and related roles and responsibilities. But how do we marry these internal processes with real-world data? How do we grab data at the source and grab it once? A common principle for any agile organization. Mobility is no longer a choice, but a mandate. Look at service engineers servicing customer locations, sales teams creating quotes and orders, vehicles delivering, collecting goods, documents, payments. They're all examples of enabling collection of data at the source. Straight through processes for routine transactions, escalations and approvals only when required. Connecting the data points and making it available anytime, anywhere for key decision makers. Scrubbing, moving data from Sage or to Sage with a head office system with EDI or RPA. Now, ERP solutions are much more than accounting engines. They help connect processes, and accounting entries are merely a byproduct of these business transactions. So once the principles of such entries are set up correctly, they can happen in the background. And you can spend your time doing a mindful evaluation of the health of the business. With TRIM, we map the boundaries and declare how data in the real world moves into the ERP. A best practice or an innovation cannot exist in isolation to the local environment in which the distributor is operating. As we have done many implementations for distribution companies in the Middle East region, we have identified what needs to be done to support these requirements. For example, a free zone entity needs a track and trace by the bill of entry with HS codes, or a tracking of ROHS certification in the inventory master, FTA specific audit reports and tax submissions. Our domain-led TRIM prototype is visualized to support these considerations. TRIM helps a customer innovate the way he runs his business. Disruptive innovation requires technology as a support, and TRIM provides a time-efficient, cost-effective, low-risk model for driving this innovation.